Well, this sucks. Hey, I'm Doug. Welcome to Backcountry Pilgrim, a channel devoted to hiking, backpacking, camping, and yes, even the Camino de Santiago. In this video, I just want to give a quick update as to what is going on with my Camino and with the channel in general. Just to give a quick recap, toward the end of January in 2019, my Camino cousin and I made firm plans that we were going to walk the Camino de Santiago in 2020. And our plan at the time was to head out in May. Pretty much today, actually. In fact, I would have been packing right now and preparing to leave tomorrow had it not been for the coronavirus. Now, back in March, I did a video on how the coronavirus was affecting the Camino. Little did I know that Spain would essentially shut the entire Camino down within hours of me making that video. Now, what does it even mean for the Camino to be open or closed? It's basically a series of roads and trails, so how does it close? Well, there's two major ways. Number one, the entire country of Spain could be closed, but also the support structure that is so important to this incredible pilgrimage has to be in place. Now, for Camino pilgrims, that doesn't just mean hotels and restaurants, it also means albergues. Even if Spain were to open tomorrow, it's not like the owners of those albergues are just suddenly going to flip their signs around to open and unlock their doors. The economic reality is that any business that depends on pilgrims isn't going to have any for quite a while. Even after the order comes out to open Spain back up to travelers, it's not as though everyone can just suddenly decide to be on the Camino that week. It doesn't make economic sense for a business that is reliant on pilgrims to be open when there aren't any pilgrims. Right now, nobody is on the Camino. For those of us who had our trip canceled ahead of time, we are in a sense kind of the lucky ones, because at least we have some chance of recuperating our money and putting that money away until the Camino becomes a reality again. So the problem is kind of a chicken and an egg thing, where the Camino support system can't really open until there's pilgrims, but pilgrims can't really start coming to the Camino until they know that the support structures will be there. So I don't claim to have any kind of special insight into how that's going to work. Obviously, this is an unprecedented situation, and it's going to take probably quite a bit of time to untangle. I do not want to say this, I don't want to believe it, but there is a good chance that the Camino for 2020 is over. And the reason for that is that, number one, things have not changed appreciably in the last 6 weeks. We could very easily be looking at an entire summer before the European lockdowns are lifted. And if there is no guarantee that anybody's even going to come along in the few remaining months of fall where it would make sense to do the Camino, why open? I could very easily see albergue owners thinking to themselves, you know what, we're just going to write 2020 off and we'll see what happens in the spring. I hope that's not what happens. I hope they figure something out. I hope that maybe some of the pilgrims that don't need to plan months and months ahead to do the Camino can just jump on it the second Spain reopens, but there's no telling. Now, this creates a problem for anybody that has to fly into Europe who had their trip canceled because of the closure. Now, of course, most airlines are offering vouchers and things for the tickets because the flights were canceled. But here's the problem. Some of those vouchers are only good for 2020. I know that the airline I chose to get me from here to Spain only offered vouchers to the end of 2020. Now, originally I thought, well, if it doesn't work out in the fall because of the coronavirus again, well, then the voucher will just kick into the spring. But the problem with that is that it's entirely possible that Spain will reopen quite a bit of time before the Camino reopens. Suppose Spain reopens in August and the Camino albergue owners decide that it's not worth it to reopen for a couple of months just to shut down again for the winter, and they just essentially declare the Camino over. Well, that's not Spain's fault, and that's not the airline's fault. So they're not going to offer me my money back simply because the thing I wanted to do in Spain is not available to me. Last week, I actually dropped my last Camino-specific video that I had planned, because I was supposed to be getting on a plane and flying to Spain this week. What am I going to do instead? Well, I'm just going to keep producing hiking, backpacking, and camping content. I've got a new background set up and I'm getting some new equipment to hopefully make even better quality videos in the future. I may occasionally have some idea of something I can do for the Camino, and when I do, that content will show up in the Camino de Santiago playlist that you can see below. So for now, the Camino is one more trip that I have planned. Of course, it's a huge one, and one that I have been dreaming about for years. But whether and when it happens is really not up to me at this point. So I'm not giving up on the Camino, but I'm also not going to lose my focus on some of the great things that have come out of making this channel. I hope that it has been beneficial to you. If it has, please subscribe, give it a like, click that bell if you want notifications in the future. And just know that although I may not be going to Spain anytime soon, I got a lot of cool places to go, and I'd love to take you along with me. Until next time, I'm Doug. This is Backcountry Pilgrim. Take it easy.